South Dakota State a winner for the 7th straight time against its in-state and arch rival South Dakota. 30-23 the final from Vermillion on Saturday afternoon. Jay Elson, Andre Fields had the call for you here on Midco Sports Network. And Andre, all the talk leading up to this game was about the fact that it was a game. It wasn't just a rivalry this time. It wasn't the fact that one team was trying to spoil anything for anyone else. Both of these teams had something very real to play for, and there's no question, when all was said and done, it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it did. Absolutely lived up to the hype, Jay. I mean, this was the type of game that we expect from rivalry games. But on top of that, it was good to see a close game come down to one score out of these two teams that, the last few meetings, it really hasn't been that way.
Let's take a look at the highlights. The first half game summary brought to you by Hefty Brand Soybeans. Coyotes struck first. Ryan Sager to his new favorite target, Brant Van Rukel, 40 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 USD.
Ryan Sager, good job of setting up the secondary with his eyes and finds Van Rukel running right down the middle for a huge start to the ball.
Jackrabbits answer with a field goal. Their next possession, Taryn Christian, the true freshman quarterback, takes it in from 10 yards out, made it 10-7. That was the score at the half, and this was dead even other than the score. 10-7 in favor of South Dakota State at the half. Total yardage, 187. The Coyotes really had to be feeling good about where they were after 30 minutes in this game.
Yeah, they were going to get the ball back to start the second half, so knowing that you're only down 3, you got to come out and put some points up early. They felt really good going into the half. I'm sure they felt a whole lot better than they have in the past.
They felt good through 30 minutes. They felt really good through 45 minutes. Get into the game summary for the second half. First possession of that second half, Ryan Sager caps an 80-yard drive, gets the Coyotes in front 14-10. They led 20-10 going into the fourth quarter. Kyle Paris from 2 yards out.
That's the kind of ball game it was right there. You see mano-a-mano, lots of hitting, lots of tough football play from two tough-nosed teams.
Harris again made it 24-20 in favor of South Dakota State. They were back in front at that point, but on the ensuing Coyote possession, it was Farina with the pick 6 that ended up being the final dagger in this ball game. But you look at these numbers, and I think just about 6 out of 7 days a week, the Coyotes would take everything that you see here.
Yeah, they absolutely would. I mean, we talked in the pregame about holding South Dakota State to less than 100 yards rushing. They were able to do that, and as you mentioned, really they did what they needed to do to win, except score more points. And, of course, that difference came from a defensive touchdown by South Dakota State.
The only thing the Coyotes don't love is the fact that the final score was 30-23 in favor of South Dakota State. Of course, with the win, South Dakota State goes to 8-2 on the season. They're now 5-2 in the Missouri Valley Football Conference and in really good position, you would think, with a win in their regular season finale next week at Western Illinois to get a first-round bye in the FCS playoffs.
And I don't see why they wouldn't get it if they come up with that victory. I mean, the only way they wouldn't probably is some kind of Missouri Valley bias or the fact that you're probably going to have 3 or 4 playoff teams and somebody's going to have to play in the first round. But they've set themselves up to get that bye.
On the other side, South Dakota falls to 5-5 on the season. They're 3-4 in the Valley. Are they done? Do they have any hopes of the playoffs? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, the only way they're going to get in is that they win in their regular season finale next week at Illinois State. So a tough one to end for South Dakota, but it's been a solid season for Joe Glenn and his staff to this point. Another solid season for the Jackrabbits, who look well on their way to another postseason berth. And but again, the final score down here in Vermillion, 30-23. Jackrabbits win their 7th straight and maintain control of the South Dakota Showdown Series. For Andre Fields, I'm Jay Elson. Thanks for watching.